Bought a second-hand filter off eBay. Is it worth it? Let's have a look at it. Okay, here it is. As you probably guessed, this is a Fluval U4. And first of all, the reason I bought this is for a project on filtration. Okay. Now, according to the seller, this is a 1.5 years old and cost him £72. I won this for under 20. However, there are some issues. The first issue I got is it's completely empty. Nothing in it at all. So we're going to give it a good clean. These look quite tidy though. The reason I like this particular model is this. I love the idea of this. You can change it from this spout to this spout, both these, both this, all 4 directions. Oh, sorry, 3 directions. And I got it really cheap. So, I mean, obviously, I'm going to have to look at the impeller. So, first things first, let's take this cable. Impeller. I don't know if you guys know this. You just push on these bits here. There you go, it's right there. There's a lot of crud in there, but when you use one, yeah, there's a little bit of that. But I tell you what, that's not in bad nick. Still moves quite easily. Shaft is a little bit worn, but not bad. So I'll give that a good clean. I'm going to do something that everyone's going to say, don't do that, it's really bad, but it's not really bad at all. Let's take all these out. It's just a carcass, that is. I was told there's a way of getting this out. Look at all that crap in there. I found that just turning it around can do the job. See what I mean? See how it goes through different holes? There is crud in there though. Not seeing how to get that out particularly. I'm sure there is. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. My main concern is the motor housing. They do get covered in crap. And that, all you want to do is get an old one of these, or a new one actually. Don't get an old one, get a new one. I use an old one. I mean old one is I've used this one on the tank for 5 years. But a new one would probably be better. Just a little bit of moisture on it. Just turn it a few times. Any crud that's on there will just come straight off. There you go. So you can see the wear now. See the wear? There. Well, even if I change the impeller, you're going to get a bit of wear, but that looks fine to me. So that's good news. I'm not going to change the shaft yet. Let's see how it feels inside. Yeah, a little bit graty. I might just flick it on quickly. I think that's worth a check. Yeah, she works. Okay. Okay, the next thing I want to do is get some filter media, because I'll give these a wash out. These caps do come off. There you go. You just brush them out. And normally what I would do is I would put a gallon of water, okay, and a cap full of bleach and leave it overnight. And then in the morning, I would wash it all off quite good, you know, give it a good rinse off, okay. And then I would use some water conditioner and soak it again for a couple of hours. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use some cut up old ones that I've got But the main reason for this is I want to get some of this crud out, as you can see, and then we're going to fire it up and see if it's worth it. I'm told this does come out, but I'm not sure how. I'm pretty sure that's just unclips, so let me get some glasses, we'll have a look at that. And I've got a different media I'm going to use for this. I've got my own media, which is Bio Home Ultimate, as you know, which is this stuff. And this is coming out of one of my old filters, so I'm going to put that in, line it up at the bottom maybe, like that. Sorry, like that. Like this. This is all of it. You might know it's a little bit dirty, but it's going to be dirty. Just plop it in there like that. Now a lot of people say, why do you do it this way? There's no real way you're doing it, it's just I do it this way, that's it. And then obviously you might want to do it some other ways, but this is the way I do it. Like that. All the way up there. Or you could use this new product. Let me go and show you this stuff. Aqua Nuggets. I'll put a link in the description. It's basically Sechem Prime. Sorry, Sechem Matrix. Very unusual smell to it though. But basically this is just white pumice stone. Probably it is cheaper. So you could use that stuff as well. But anyway, that's how I choose to do it, like that. I always give it a little bit of room. So that's that portion done. And that, as you can see, the hole in the middle. So it goes matches up with that hole. And that's that bit done. Let's have a look. It's clean in there. A little bit mucky. There you go. So the phones are turning up tomorrow, but I'm going to use some of the old phones that I got from another filter, which I'm bleaching at the moment. Yeah, they're bleached nicely, so let's give them a rinse out. Okay, here we are. They normally will get, before I put them in the tank, I'm going to give them a good rinse, but here we go. That's perfect. That's all we're going to use really for this, because a lot of people say to me, why don't you use the carbon inserts? You get inserts to go on top of these, if anyone knows about the filter. I never use them. You don't need them. If you're medicating and you want to put a bit of carbon in, they're ideal, but you don't need them. I will show you. This is just part one of the thing anyway. And that's that bit done. That's where the motor goes, so let's make sure that's clear. Yep. And this, like that, goes back in. Now I do believe this is going to make noise, because I'd be surprised if something secondhand didn't, to be honest. But we'll get it in the we'll get it in the tank. And the other thing is, what am I missing? You can get these, they're about £6 for all of them. It's 4 actually, which seems expensive, but you can rejuvenate these by using hot water on them. That goes in like that. Actually, I'm going to do it the way it was meant. And then, of course I'll put it in the wrong way around. That's how it's meant. So let's get it in some water and see how it sounds and looks. This is the moment of truth. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, it's moving the water, that's for sure. A little bit of air in there. It's not ultra silent, but these aren't. I mean, these move a lot of water. I mean, you can use these. I think they give these out with, or used to give these out with the 200 litre Romas. But that's quite successful, so we're going to follow that. We're going to get the other. Okay, all of that's working. Move these over. So you can run these either way. So as you can see, successful. Okay, so let's do the pros and cons. Let's see where we go with that, because obviously that's important as well. And do you think that buying on eBay is a good thing for second-hand equipment? Okay, so what do we think? You know, you've got to be careful when you buy second-hand goods, and obviously new is always going to be better, all right? But I'm going to be doing it, and these eggs on it. I'm going to be doing a hospital tank soon, because I might have some new fish coming. So obviously I want to make sure they don't affect my other fish. You see a lot of Aquarius places, even Maidenhead Aquatics to use it, they do put chemicals in the tanks, obviously medicating the tanks and all the rest of it. Obviously you don't want that in your tank. Anyway, so do I think that's worth it? Let's have a look at the pros and cons of buying secondhand. The unknown, you know, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, unforeseen things missing or broken. You know, there was no, I took it for granted that there was going to be a full set of stuff in there. So always pose questions, always ask questions. You know, they're not going to, if it's a legit thing, they're not going to say, because it's just not going to do it. Always make sure there's the right fuse in there. Get the specs off the website or wherever you can, or get some details from the owner. Make sure there's the right fuse in there. Apart from that, I've sterilised everything using bleach, and yes, you can use bleach as long as you detox it afterwards. Yeah, so I mean, I soaked this in a cap full of bleach, probably a gallon of water, a cap full of bleach, boom, done. That I am putting new foams in here, and if you're that way, just change out the medium, whatever you want to do. But oh well, this is good. It's not a bad little thing. This, you know, for the money I paid for this, which was less than half of a new one. I will be doing this again. I think I've done this before with a canister filter, but to be honest, that was more of a project that never went because we moved house because of COVID and whatever. Well, not because of COVID, but in the middle of COVID. So guys, thanks for watching. You take care. All links you need are in the description. Take care.